History is said to repeat itself if people don't learn from it. You know what, though? The statement couldn't be more applicable to young NBA stars of today because, for some reason, they still trash speak and download one of the best players in the history of the sport. At least it provides us with entertainment, right? You know, that phrase that's been going around the league, the one that goes, "Look at Curry, man, so inspirational." I think Kevin Porter Jr. took it too, literally when he stared down Steph late January. I mean, look at it. That's downright disrespectful, but more so it's dangerous, because here's what happened afterwards. Steph appeared to have ignored him like nothing had happened, but let me tell you, even if KPJ apologized immediately, it was already too late. The bear was poked, the fire was lit, and as Michael Jordan would say, it became personal. You see, up until that point, Steph was just on cruise control going through his regular motions. I mean, there was 415 left in the third quarter, and the two-time MVP had just 16 points. After that incident, however, Steph went full on unanimous MVP mode and scored 24 points. 21 of those came in the fourth when he went 7 for 10 from the field and 4 for 7 from three-point range. This outburst by Curry ultimately sealed the game for the Warriors, and what do you think Kevin Porter Jr. did when it was all said and done?
I feel like I'm getting more and more respected with how I compete, and I'm not afraid of anyone or any challenge, and I like playing against Steph.
After trash talking and staring down the chef and having 40 dropped on his head, he went to Steph for some advice. That's a good one. Anyways, Anthony Edwards is next on this list. Ant-Man is one of my favorite young stars to watch, and he's a superstar in the making. One time last season, however, he will see you in November of 2021. With about 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, the young phenom had 40 points already. In order to speak to the greatest shooter in NBA history, his team was down by 10 points. I might go for 50, Steph. Steph simply turned around and left, appearing to say, "All right." On the other side, Edwards did his best. There are 1.3 seconds left in the game. He made 2 crucial free throws to set a career high of 48 points at the time. And then the buzzer sounded. The end result was 123-110 for the Warriors, and that's all she wrote. Next off, we have the young superstar sensation Luka Doncic. It was game 1 of the Western Conference Finals with about 1 minute left to go in the first quarter. Steph was at the line shooting free throws. Well, he actually missed one to the surprise of everyone. At that time, Luka proceeded to say to "What's going on, man, you scared?" Well, Curry wasn't gonna let that slide and replied with a savage remark. "Luka, would you shut up?" Curry ended that game with a game high of 21 points and a game high of 12 rebounds. And most importantly, the W Luka, on the other hand, had a Luka special have been a -30 with 7 turnovers. Sheesh, and before I forget, this was also the same game where Curry did that famous dance. There's Luka, by the way. I think by that facial expression he's learned to never trash talk the chef again. Anyways, next off here, I can't have a video titled "When Young NBA Stars Try Trash Talk and Steph Curry" without mentioning Ja Morant. This one's tricky because where do I even begin? Alright, so first off, after the Grizzlies game to win, he walked by Curry, stared him down, and said, "We're going to have some fun." Then after the Grizzlies' dominant win in Game 5, Ja led the Grizzlies and 7 champ. If I dig a bit further, I can probably find a ton more that Ja Morant said, but I want to fast forward to the aftermath of all this. Goodness gracious. This is what happened following Steph Curry and the team's victory over the Grizzlies. There's a lot more I could say, but I feel like it would be rude to do so while that look is on your face. What a trick. Our next story goes all the way back to 2017 when the Warriors clashed off against the young Celtics team when Jaylen Brown was just a rookie. You see, there are just a few seconds left. It was a 1-point game and Curry was matched onto Jaylen Brown. Curry put them in the blender and sang an incredible buzzer beating 3.
The fake on Jaylen Brown, drills it!
What an incredible shot. Anyways, after that play, Curry pointed at him, had some words, and then signaled with his hands that Brown was talking too much smack. I've never seen Curry point at another player like this before, so I was curious. What did Jaylen Brown say that triggered the 2-time MVP? Well, after some digging, the only thing I found was that Jaylen Brown said I didn't say anything to him. I was just playing defense. Well, that's what Jaylen said. But other players in the league have noted that the young Celtic star often engages in encore trash talk.
When we played in London, Jaylen was guarding me for that game. And at one point in the second half, I'm going to cuss on your show, I'm sorry, but he called me a bitch. And, and I looked at him and was like, I don't play that. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So, judging for the fact that we've never seen Steph really that angry towards a particular player for no reason, and from JJ Redick's story, I'm pretty sure Brown did say something. Anyways, next off, we have Matthew Dellavedova. Now Dellavedova isn't exactly a young NBA star, but in the 2015 finals, he was 24 years old, and as far as Cavaliers fans were concerned, he was a star. This one isn't exactly Delly's fault, but after playing some decent defense on Curry for a game or two, the media labeled him as quite unquote, the Curry stopper. Well, according to sources within the Warriors organization, this angered Curry. Andrew Bogut said at the time, people have lit a fire under Steph, which is a good thing. It's something that you don't want to do and worked out well. We know Delly is a great defender, but we know he's not a Curry stop. Well, in a pivotal game 5 of the series, when the Warriors were up 7 with a little under 3 minutes left to go in the fourth, Curry decided to end the talk that there was someone who was capable of shutting them down. I mean, Curry reached into his bag and brought out a series of moves that ended with a bang.
Looking for that opening. Steps back. Crossover. Fires away. Wow! Another three from Curry!
She skies. Look at all those moves. I wonder what the media guys were thinking after they saw that. Next off here we have a story on Lowry marketing, which dates back to January of 2018. This one wasn't actually Lowry's fault as he was just playing defense. You see, it was still early in the first quarter when the two of them matched up on the perimeter. Steph tried to get past him for the drive to the basket, but Markkanen swats the ball away and it hits Curry in the face right before he fell to the deck. That's a pretty embarrassing highlight. As far as I've looked into this, no words were said, but I'm sure Curry took it personally from that point onwards. You see, as nice of a block as that was when the final buzzer sounded. Marketing was a game low -33 in the plus-minus department while Curry went 10 for 18. From the field, 6 for 11 from distance and 30 points. Next off, we have a story of Trae Young. You see on Shaq's podcast, the Diesel was pushing for an answer from Trae to the question, how many years before you overtake Steph Curry is the best shooter? Trae's answer was,
how many years before you overtake Steph Curry as the best shooter in the league? Put you on the spot. Put you on the spot. Let's go.
Yeah.
That podcast was recorded in 2020, and it's 2022. Now, well, in the last postseason series that Trae Young played in, which was a 5-game series against the Heat, he shot 31.9% from the field and 18.4% from three-point range and averaged more turnovers than he did assists. How many years before you overtake Steph Curry is the best shooter in the league? Oh, so yeah. Anyways, this next story doesn't directly involve Steph, but it does involve his actual brother and his brother from another mother. You see, it was back in the playoffs between the Warriors and Portland, and Draymond was heated and talking smack to Steph Curry. And when Steph was at the line, his brother wasn't backing down to Draymond at all. Here's what happened according to Seth.
And I'm not Steph. I'll talk back to you. I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna just go play my game. I'm gonna talk back. I'm gonna say my piece. Steph was at the free throw line, like in between us, he was acting all awkward. He didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm his brother. You his guy he been going to war with for 10 years. Steph ain't know what to do with the line. But I was loving it though, my guy.